Diego Cordovan.
Adam Schoenfeld.
Welcome to The Scoop, brought to you by Full Tilt Poker. We had Jason Koon with us last week. He is a big winner online, over $2 million of wins, including a quarter of that just in one F-Tops event. And he's been making his mark in live events. And he's very open and willing to talk about what he's learned and how he's transitioned to the live events and backing and all sorts of topics. So we're going to talk some more to him. And if you missed part one, it's on Card Player TV. So even finishing fourth, which can be a very frustrating spot to finish, where you're just on the verge of the big success and the big money, even that was very satisfying to you and didn't leave you with a... doesn't sound like it left you with a bittersweet or...
No, I mean, I understand that, the things are going to happen, and I don't necessarily... I've put a lot of thought into my bust hand, which I don't know if you guys have seen.
No, interesting to hear.
I opened Randall Flowers and I were the chip leaders, and we were four-handed. I had just won we were very short at the final table. Average stack was probably 20 to 25 big blinds, given the final table bubble was so long. And I had reshipped all in with Queen Jack and was called by eights and won the flip, and I was chip leader. And I think I opened one hand light, and Randall 3-bet me light, and I folded. And he got the chip lead back. And then the hand occurs where I'm on the button with 6-5 offsuit, and I open. I think we were at 60K, 120K, and I opened at 250,000 on the button with 6-5 off. And he defended the big blind with Jack 10 suited of diamonds, and it came King 8-8 offsuit 1 diamond. He checked me. I bet standard, like, I don't know, fourth of the pot or something, or I mean a little under half pot, like 250K again, same as my pre-flop raise, and he called, and the turn, the turn was the 9 of diamonds, which was obviously a beautiful card for him, and I knew that he was a strong hand reader and understood that my range doesn't connect with King 8-8 very often, so I decided to barrel just to fold out his ace highs. And he knows that I'm good enough to value bet any king there in that spot, just because I think that he has ace high like all the time. So he's a good enough hand reader to know that I'm not just polarized to like an 8 or aces or something when I bet that big. I'm betting any king, and I'm betting. So my value range is wide enough to barrel again if we're talking strategy behind it. But whatever. I barrel. I bet like 550K, and he calls again, which of course he's going to when he has the up and down straight flush draw. And offsuit 7 hits the river, which gives me this backdoor straight.
You were drawing to the bottom end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and it came in. You
offsuit,
figure when a miracle like that comes in, you should win.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm thinking to myself, I'm like singing in my head, like, oh my God, like, hi, how are you? I'm gonna bet 1.5 million here, and I had I think 2.3 million roughly, and I bet 1.5, and he moved all in. And I literally, like, on the TV, it was hilarious. I watched it. I literally look like I'm going to puke on the table. Like, he shoves. I have, like, 800K more, and there's 6 million in or something. And I tank for, like, 3 minutes. And I still think I maybe could have found a fold. Maybe I'm being results-oriented now, but...
I mean, he's capable of making a play at you. I mean, you guys have played enough.
Yeah, I knew he was never bluffing there, though, because I bet literally 80% of my stack on the river, and
so he could have 3 8s.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't know if he definitely is defending ace 8 and ace 8 suited, but if you break down his range, he's probably folding everything. I don't know if he defends queen 8 suited and jack 8 suited, but if he does, I beat those 2 hands as well. But those are literally the only 3 hand combinations of 8x even that I beat. Because 8-9 suited, 7-8 suited,
do you
all beat me.
Having played with him online and a lot in this tournament, obviously, did you think he was capable of flopping 3 8s and then checking it all the way?
Well, he absolutely would, because he knows that I'm going to barrel off so much, just because I...
So that's part of it, too.
Yeah, if I perceive his range is weak, I'm going to empty the clip, I'm not afraid to do that.
It's not, there's... Obviously, there are some players who can never have less than a straight in that spot or a full house or whatever, but that's not the case anymore. And he's won 2 of these WPTs. He's a young
Great
guy,
player.
aggressive, and it sounds like also you guys have enough history where
maybe we could have found a fold.
You're thinking, but also it's not a done deal that you're beat.
No, absolutely. He should at least. He definitely has ace 8 in his value range, but the problem is, if he only has 1 hand in his value range, I need to find a fold in that spot. I know this isn't a strategy show.
No, that's cool. I
like that. I'm also interested in the fact that
it's only not strategy because most people won't talk strategy.
Right. You guys are very accomplished primarily online players.
Yeah.
So at that point, were you trying to get also a live read on them as you contemplated?
I think I was just trying not to puke on air.
Because that's one thing also. I mean, a lot of guys, as good as they are, still may give off some information, but you didn't.
Yeah,
pick
well,
anything up.
I was certain, and I don't know if I mean it's just given the way the hand played out that he just couldn't be bluffing there. If he was, it would be the most insane bluff ever. But I think he's a good enough player and aware of his physical tendencies enough to not give off like a screaming tell that he's either bluffing or if he is, I'm not good enough to recognize that yet.
It's my opinion that at a certain point against a player that you give a lot of respect to in a live environment, there's almost no point in wasting a lot of time because he's not giving anything away.
No. Well, the other problem actually, as I thought about it some more, is that, as you say, it's not a bluff. If he moved in, it's because he really thinks he has the best hand, even if it's not, because your hand is so well disguised.
Yeah, but the thing is,
he may be confident thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get my 3/8 paid off."
Yeah, a very good 3/8, but nothing else I can call with. He knows that he also knows that I'm not the kind of guy that's just going to spike call like ace king or even aces there. Aces or ace king find the muck every single time, in that spot. And even some trip combos. Like, say I raised 8 deuce suited on the button, which I don't know if I would raise a hand that bad, but let's say I did. And I would certainly, he knows that I would fold trips there. I would fold trips because there's absolutely nothing in his value range that I beat. It was just the bottom straight made it a little more difficult. Because if he has 3 hands in his value range, I have to call, given the fact that if I fold, I have 8 big blinds and it was for the massive chip lead, and I'm getting 8-1 or something, or even better. And but if he only has 1 hand, it has to go in the muck. And the more I thought about it, and like I said, I may be results oriented, but I think that it's teetering between me finding a fold there, and I think I probably could have.
It sounds. I mean, I can't even make a decision knowing what the result is. It seems very tough. I mean, your bet put you in a super tough spot. I'm not saying that you have to value bet there, I think, also. It's like, so, and bet folding is very hard to do when you're leaving yourself the nub.
You barreled twice and you hit the gut
shot.
shot.
Literally, the gin got shot too. It wasn't a diamond, so I couldn't even put him on a backdoor flush. So.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like this upcoming World Series of Poker is important to you then, in terms of just making a name for yourself and kind of proving your live game.
Yeah, and not even necessarily those things are important to me, and I am pursuing the establishment and the recognition, and to say those things aren't important to me would be a lie. But it's very important to me for a couple different reasons this year. One, I'm entirely on my own money now, so if I win something, it's mine.
Right.
So that's a good feeling. And 2, I feel like I've had enough live experience now, and I've worked so hard on my tournament game in the last year, and I'm still working so hard, to the point where it might be an obsession. I mean, I'm watching 5-6 videos a day. I'm reviewing all my hand histories, all my friends' hand histories, and I'm playing a fair amount. So I'm ready to go do damage this year. I mean, I'm showing up. I'm not there to make any friends. I'm going to win a couple titles.
Do you have? I like that. Do you have a number of events in mind?
No. Last year I did that. I said, I'm going to play every no limit. I'm not going to do that. If I don't feel like I'm going to play my A game, I'm not going to show up. If I have to sit at home and relax, get my head right, I'm going to do that. So I can't give you a estimated number, but I'm going to play as many as that I can physically play and feel like I'm playing my best.
And mentally play.
Yeah.
But quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
I'm interested in what you mentioned about playing on your own, because one thing that surprises me oftentimes is there are a lot of very successful younger players who've come up and made a lot of money on the internet, and even with all the success they've had, they still are backed. They still play with backers, which to me is kind of counterintuitive, but they all, they have rational reasons for it. Kind of what led to your decision? I mean, other than the obvious, which is giving up half of your profits or whatever part of your profits it is.
Well, I think typically young guys our age, at least a lot of people who play poker, including myself, never really had money, and then when you win money, you don't really know what to do with it. You're excited. You've never really had nice things, so you kind of splurge. But and a lot of us rationalize that's okay, and it is okay to treat yourself, but it's not okay to go blow half your bankroll on blackjack or to go to the Rhino and stay there for 3 days straight and come out with half a bankroll. I know, whatever. You know,
You were looking at Adam when you said that.
absolutely. But no, the whole point being is, I know I personally, I paid off a lot of school debt, and I had a surgery bill I had to pay for that wasn't covered with insurance, whatever. And that helped me back, but I also made some bad early decisions. And I have a leg up on a lot of the younger guys because I went to school, I got a finance degree, I got an MBA. At least they tried to drive some responsibility into my head. But I could have been on my own roll earlier, and I feel bad for a lot of guys who are such great players and just don't have the discipline to buckle down and say grind up like a 50 or even 100K roll, which is a good bankroll,
So even though they've won a lot of money, they're so tight on money that they're kind of trapped in the banking arrangement.
Or they're
Just
so
because they're
physically
spending.
spoiled from playing like 25Ks and 10Ks that they just can't see sitting out of those tournaments or selling action to those tournaments. They'd rather just be backed and just be in there.
Part of it's ego. You don't want to. They could step down and play
hurts.
$1,000 events, but
No, it hurts. It absolutely hurts. I mean, whenever I was backed, I would play 5K heads up, sit and goes all the time, and but when you're on your own roll and you realize you can lose 200K playing those in a week,
5K here or 5K there.
Exactly.
It's serious money.
You drop down and you just gotta suck it up and earn it. You gotta grind it up.
Well, even more motivation. It's sweet to win. I mean, we all know the stories of guys that they win a big event, they finally have that day when everything goes right, but first they're in makeup, they have to pay a lot to the backer, and then they have other debts, other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a sweet feeling to win as you're confident of doing this summer.
Yeah.
And just keeping it all and just
absolutely.
being that far ahead. And with your attitude and your serious, studious attitude, I don't doubt that you'll have a lot of success. You just need a little bit of luck here.
Yeah, let's hope. Yeah, absolutely.
You also have to run well, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm just saying
But you've put yourself in a good position for these big live tournaments.
Yeah.
We're not going to be surprised to see you come away with a bracelet and
let's hope.
a lot of hope.
Be
Well,
great.
it's been great to meet you.
Thanks.
People can learn a lot from you, not just from the poker, but just your management of your poker career. So hopefully you'll influence a lot of people out there.
Yeah, I'll do
Thanks
my
for
best.
coming by.
Yeah, it's good
Thanks
to
for
meet you
joining
guys.
us on The Scoop, brought to you by Full Tilt Poker.